interesting thing is that we start to lose collagen in our late 20s and 30s, and then we lose around 1% per year as we age.
Welcome to Women's Health and Longevity by Seneca Women, presented in partnership with P&G and Walgreens. We're living in an age of scientific breakthroughs. Technology, AI, and medical advancements are ushering in a whole new era of health and longevity. But what does that really mean for women's health? We're here to talk to experts about women's health from every angle, and we're here to demystify the science of health and suggest easy, practical things we can all do that may help us live healthier, happier, and longer. Today we're talking about how to get healthy skin from head to toe with Dr. Heather Woolery-Lloyd. So there's one organ of the body that is sometimes overlooked when we think about our health, and that, of course, is the skin, the largest organ.
It is. In fact, the average adult has around 21 square feet of skin, which is crazy. And actually, the skin makes up around 10 to 15% of our total body weight. So it's the largest organ that we have.
So why is the skin so important?
Well, the skin is so important because it really is a barrier. The reason why we have our skin is it keeps the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. So it helps to prevent infection. It helps regulate our temperature. The skin is also a sensory organ. So it keeps us kind of in touch with the world, so we can feel pain, we can feel heat, we can feel humidity, and all of those things.
So how do you know if your skin barrier is compromised?
Well, a skin barrier that's compromised would be dry, itchy, it would be rough. You know, normal healthy skin is hydrated, moisturized, it would feel smooth. So a good skin barrier is really smooth, hydrated skin.
And what's the risk if your skin is dry or your skin barrier is somehow impaired?
Well, when the skin barrier is impaired, there are a few things that can go wrong. First of all, you're at risk for infection because a healthy skin barrier prevents infection. It helps to regulate our temperature. When your skin barrier is severely compromised, we actually can't control our temperature because we lose heat from our skin. So there are lots of things that you probably don't think about when you think about your skin on why the skin is so important.
So how do you know if your skin is doing a good job, or how can you help it do a good job?
To help your skin really stay healthy and have a very strong skin barrier, the most important thing is to use gentle skincare products. Sometimes people want to use harsh cleansers and soaps and suds that, you know, may smell good or feel good while you're soaping up or lathering up, but those things can sometimes disrupt the skin barrier. So the key is to use gentle products, gentle cleansers, and to moisturize every day, and of course sunscreen every day.
That's so interesting that you're saying that. Most of us think that, you know, being more abrasive with your skin is a positive thing in cleaning your skin, but I guess not, right? So how you wash your skin actually really matters. So what can you do if you find your skin is dry? What can you do to repair it?
So the great news is that the skin renews itself pretty quickly. Like in 7 to 14 days, you can see real improvement in your skin if you change your habits. So instead of using a harsh cleanser that disrupts the skin barrier, switching to a gentle cleanser is key. And sometimes you hear the term pH balanced when it comes to skincare. And what that means is that the skincare product is closer to the skin's natural pH. So our skin's natural pH is between 4 and 6. It's actually slightly acidic. So when we use products that are closer to our skin's natural pH, they're less likely to disrupt the barrier, less likely to cause any irritation. So once you use a gentle pH balanced cleanser and then use a moisturizer with regular use over time, of course you'll see repair of the skin. You'll see improvement in a week or two. And of course you can't forget your sunscreen. Sunscreen is so important when it comes to skincare because it protects us from the harmful UV rays that can cause basically DNA damage to the skin.
So, well, that's very encouraging, first of all, that you can repair your skin that quickly. We hear, of course, all the time about how important vitamin D is, but yet we know that we really need to protect our skin from the sun. So what should we do there?
Well, I'd like to say that the best way to get vitamin D is with supplementation. For example, I walk outside every day in the sun, although I'm wearing sunscreen, and I'm vitamin D deficient. So it's really important if you are vitamin D deficient to get your vitamin D from supplementation and wear sunscreen if you're outside.
Thank you for clarifying that. How does one's life stage, particularly of women, affect their skin?
So that is such an interesting question. And the interesting thing is that we start to lose collagen in our late 20s and 30s, and then we lose around 1% per year as we age. So a lot of my patients will complain of thinning of the skin as they age, and that's a very common complaint. The other thing that people complain about is dryness, because as we age, our skin gets significantly more dry, not only on the face, but also on the body.
So what should we be thinking about about as we're sort of aging? Maybe we're in perimenopause, menopause. Is there something we should be doing differently?
This is such a good question because a lot of times as people age, the number one thing I'll see in my practice is itching on the body. And the thing that causes the itching is dryness. So using a gentle body wash that's pH balanced and using a moisturizer on the body. And I know it takes time to put moisturizer all over your body. And people who got away without using moisturizer in their 20s and 30s might not be able to get away with that during perimenopause or a little bit later in life.
Yeah, I feel like the body is sort of overlooked, actually. We tend to focus a lot on our skin, on our face.
Body is so important, and that's why I focus on body care with my patients, especially as we age.
Is there anything else you might recommend we do to just increase that moisture? Any simple things that we can be doing that we might be overlooking?
So very simple things, gentle cleansers. We want to use moisturizers every day, ideally right after the shower to lock in that moisture. We need to protect ourselves from the sun, so that can be sunscreen, but that can also be sun protective clothing, because if you get a lot of excessive sun exposure, that can also damage our skin barrier. So all of these things work together, but it doesn't have to be complicated. A gentle cleanser, a moisturizer, and sunscreen are all you need.
Very encouraging, very doable. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Here are my top takeaways. First, our skin barrier is so important. It helps prevent infection and regulates temperature. Second, the signs of healthy skin: it's smooth and moisturized. And lastly, remember to take care of the skin on both your face and your body. To do this, cleanse, moisturize, and use sunscreen. One way you can both cleanse and moisturize is with Olay Body Wash. Visit our partner at olay.com to learn more. This episode of Women's Health and Longevity is brought to you by P&G and Walgreens, helping women find the right solutions for their changing needs. For more information, visit walgreens.com/women's-wellness.